Not sure why it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Properties. There we go. Okay. And let's make sure the sound's working. There we go. There we go. That's working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA, and we're going to be talking about Frank's Red Hot Sauce and also a bunch of other stuff. Measurement and the U.S. Postal Service and direct response copy. So let's get started. Okay, first off, here's Jason Kelsey, whose brother is famous, but I can't ever remember his name. And we'll start with that. Let's go.
Let me show you how to make Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Chicken Dip. 2 cups of shredded chicken, 8 ounces of cream cheese. Oh, that one was a little harder, but I got it. Half a cup of ranch dressing, half a cup of blue cheese crumbles, and of course, half a cup of Frank's Red Hot. Mix, then bake. Put that shit on everything.
Okay. And their logo actually is put that beep on everything. I've never tried it, but anyway, Adweek had a backstory, which is what got me started on this. But actually, they won't let me read it. So we went over to USA Today instead, and apparently Frank's did really well. So Jason Kelsey is living his Frank's hot sauce best life in a giveaway spot, and this wasn't the giveaway spot, but it was fun. And so Kelsey is shown putting hot sauce on numerous different foods in a pre-Super Bowl commercial. He went even more viral than Taylor Swift just for a second. During an NFL game last month, while rooting for his brother, he ripped his shirt off in the crowd. Okay, so Kelsey rips it off again and again and again. He might not be playing in the Super Bowl this year, but you can't say Kelsey isn't enjoying the moment. Okay, that's fun. That's a little bit fun. Okay, big news. Walmart is talking about doing a deal with Vizio to buy TV maker Vizio, which is really interesting to me because, you know, I don't know how much Walmart gets in the manufacturing business, getting to own manufacturers. I think I have a Vizio TV or a Vizio monitor or something. But the reason seems to be that they collect data on their streaming TVs. You know, my TV in the basement that I bought at Walmart, it might be, I think it is a Vizio. And you can't even, to get to a normal broadcast channel, when you turn it on, you have to go to settings, and then you have to go to like live TV brightness. And then you have to go to something else, live TV or something like that. There's like 4 clicks before you can even get to antenna-based TV. They literally make it seem like your TV doesn't have the capability to get digital TV over the air. How cool is that, right? Now, my guess is that they can still monitor the TV and tell Vizio what I'm watching. You know, mainly I watch network TV just to catch the Packer games. I guess the Bucks are on now, but I don't know which ones there are on and which ones aren't. And they don't say they're on. They don't say they're on local TV. They say they're on ESPN Plus or something, which I don't think I have. I have more stuff than I know what to do with on that TV. But mostly I watch YouTube if I watch anything. And I'm not sure if they know what I'm watching on YouTube. I know that they probably know that I am watching YouTube. And I have the premium from the Style Consultant, so I don't have commercials for the most part, and it's wonderful. You know, if there's ever a $6 or whatever YouTube charges that's worth it, that's worth it. But anyway, because of this buyout, the challenge of measuring audiences in streaming TV may get much, much more difficult, according to Dave Morgan, CEO of TV buying firm Simul Media. Who knows? And because most of the data, audience data, is coming from Vizio. Now, there's a couple. If you read this article, you really realize how much it's just pieced together. Vizio has the best data. Anyone can pay and buy. It's the cleanest and best product, says Yan Liu, CEO of TV Vision, a panel-based measurement firm that does not rely on ACR data. Okay, and that's the challenge here. The challenge is Roku bought ACR tech from Nielsen, and the data is now only available for Nielsen and Roku. Okay, and that's not the only TV data there is. There's panel data, which I guess is like the USA Today rating of the Super Bowl commercials. And they have surveys of audiences and what ads they might remember. There's also set-top box data, old cable TV networks that monitor what channel you're watching. But again, they don't know if the TV's empty in an empty room, or they don't know if people have left for the commercials to go make a sandwich or a Frank's Red Hot chicken dip. And they don't know if I'm paying attention, because too many millennials and me I watch TV if I'm watching a network program like a football game or a basketball game. There's so many commercials that I just leave the sound off. I don't care what the announcers say. The announcers don't know what they're talking about. Oh, he was really feeling confident today. Look at that shot. He must be confident. Who's going to argue? And the players only speak in the same kind of cliches. I believed in my team and we fought to the end. But you lost. Well, we fought to the end. You know, they don't talk about, they talk about it 20 years after they've retired and can say what they want to say. But in the meantime, they're not going to say what's really going on. They're not going to say, I wasn't even paying attention. I heaved it from half court and it magically went in, or whatever. Or we didn't know what play to call, and so ran the wrong route, so I just heaved it up in the air to see what would happen. So there's other providers like Dish and DirecTV, but none is an exact substitute for the technically precise and streaming specific ACR data. I'm not sure what that ACR data is, but according to also Catherine Perloff, the same author, from this summer, cable TV buyers are still struggling to know where their ads ran. Remember how I talk about direct marketing? About how not only do we know who the buyers are, but we know who the engaged non-buyers are. Not only do we know where our ads went, because we know who got mailed, we know it gets delivered, we know that it went to a decision maker, and we know that they decided what to do with their mail, which means that there was a high level of engagement, because mail doesn't throw itself away. All these other ad programs throw themselves away, right? If you're not there watching, they don't know. Even if they know, they don't know if you've got your cell phone running at the same time and you're watching a YouTube video while the announcers are on mute. They just don't know. And that's why we're missing a key component in all other medium to do real machine learning. We're missing the machine learning null set, which is equally important, maybe more important. Because what we're really after is who not to market to. It's hard to know why somebody buys. It's almost impossible, right? You don't know. You don't know why you buy half the time. But if you do know, it's some idiotic reason. See Monday's show about me driving down the highway and the cruise control wouldn't work. Total pilot error. I'm not driving with the manual in my hand knowing that you can't have the cruise control on in reverse. Who knew that? But anyway, when I put it back in drive, it ran fine. The cruise control went back to working, and now I'm not looking for a car. I was in and out of the car market for 5 minutes. And that's the way buyers' minds work. Okay. So anyway, you don't know with other media, you don't know who was driving down the highway and saw your ad. You don't know who was driving down the highway and didn't see your ad. All you know is the people that because of that ad are triggered, and you don't really know them either if you're selling through distribution. Okay, so direct mail gives you the best basis for machine learning because we know who was engaged and bought, and we know who was engaged and didn't buy. And if there's too many engaged non-buyers in a market, then it's not a good market for mail. Okay, I ran this cartoon on Saturday. What's it like to work at USPS? I have over 1,000 first-level connections with USPS people there. But most don't reply, most don't hit like or share. I talk about direct mail all the time. You'd think that USPS would have a team of people that regularly repost my articles and my shows. You'd think so. No, not Their Deb does, and she likes almost everything I do, and but doesn't repost. And I don't know. That's about it from U.S. Postal Service. Ray sometimes hits like, but I'll tag those two. Those two. Maybe I'll tag a whole bunch of people today. But anyway, so I've actually collected a whole bunch of USPS cartoons. I'm going to keep running them. This got 3,000 impressions from LinkedIn. They like cartoons. It says here you should be in hell, but since you worked at the post office, we'll count that as time served. Now, if it's everlasting damnation, I'm not sure how much time served helps. But I got 62 likes, 22 comments, and 5 reposts, and actually one was from someone at the Postal Service. Augustine Ruiz, media relations consultant, wrote, a craft position at plant operations could at times feel like you were in purgatory, but even purgatory is temporary. See, this Augustine must be Catholic. And it was up to you to determine your own path out. So he worked nights at USPS, it looks like, put himself through college with the GI Bill, so he must have been a veteran, and taking advantage of every opportunity that presented itself in the field I pursued. We're not sure quite what that is, but he's media relations, and I'm not sure if he took up at self-employed, which means he's like a consultant now. I'm not sure, Augustine, if at self-employed helps your profile a lot. Just leave it at consultant or call yourself a fractional CMO. That's what everybody else is doing. Okay, but he took advantage of every opportunity and had an extremely satisfying career doing what he loved. He didn't say how long he was at the U.S. Postal Service. Audra Zahn said, working at the USPS can be a challenge, but one of the advantages is all the different opportunities that exist. And, you know, that was pretty cool. I used my skills, I worked hard, I took advantage of opportunities and mentors, and now I can honestly say it's been incredibly rewarding. It's been incredibly rewarding. And she's been there 28 years. So my guess is, because I've known quite a few, I've had quite a few good friends at USPS. And my guess is, and some of them told me about when it was hard and told me also about when it was interesting and rewarding. And, you know, and I had 2 other people comment talking about how hard it was. And one commented that psychological treatment is not covered if you're a temporary rural route carrier. I wouldn't know about all of that, but I didn't mention their names because, you know, I don't want to get in any trouble. Although they are on the post. I also, at the same time, and actually just before this, posted on Saturday also a 3-day survey. And I got more responses to that survey than I think I've gotten to any other survey. And it was it got 2,500 impressions, which is really good for me. So the choice is, have you considered working for the post office? When I put United States Postal Service, it wouldn't let me put it up. because it said it was potentially political or controversial. So I just said post office, then it would let me, and LinkedIn let me through. But a majority of people picked this: good benefits and fresh air. And that is one of the benefits, right? I had an uncle who worked for the Postal Service, and he was also an usher at the Brewers games. And so we'd see him every now and then, and he could work both of those because the Brewers games were either at night or in the afternoon, and he could get done with his route, and he loved that. And he had got a pension, and he did fine in life. Okay, the challenging work environment, only 11% picked, and not for entrepreneurs and innovators, 32%. And that's kind of where I feel. I feel like they should have me there giving my why mail talk in major cities across America. They should hire me for that, because I'll get all worked up and I would do a great job, and I would explain to non-mailers why mail is so effective and important to be trying out. Anyway, I keep offering. But, I think I'm a little bit of a loose cannon. Feel free to share. Comment down below. Am I a loose cannon? And also, Lisa mentioned yesterday I talked about the direct mail section of the ANA response report. And I wrote to her and I said it was a shame that they didn't get more participation. And she said that they're working on that, and invited me to participate in their brainstorming about how we can get more participants. So that's pretty cool. And she said that ANA members get the report for free. So I did not put up the entire report. I didn't think that would be appropriate, but I did put up the little piece that it's like 8 pages out of 80 about the little part I talked about. So I hope that's all right. I didn't really ask. But again, thank you, Lisa, for sending it to me. Direct response copy succeeds because it's based on science and you. This is from Craig Huey. And he says, most traditional agencies create branding, art, and copy. Beautiful designs and clever copy, but doesn't motivate your prospect to respond. And part of the reason is most of the time you can't respond, right? You can't, once you see the Frank's hot sauce, you can't immediately put it on your buffalo chicken. You have to go to the store and buy it. So you have to remember it, but there's no response device immediately available. Okay, there's no way you can get it in your hands immediately. Okay, now, if you're going to have a subscription to Sports Illustrated, and that was offered to you, you could subscribe to that. You could scan a QR code and off you go, or something like that. Direct response marketing is based on the science of what makes advertising effective. Direct response copy, and I added, it just said direct response. I sort of edited this a little bit but I'm saying direct response copy will grab the attention. It will position your company and product in your prospect's mind, like brand advertising. It will identify, or it will actually describe your unique selling proposition to your prospect, overcome prospect skepticism and objectives. This is why copy often runs longer in direct response. Motivate your prospect to respond immediately, and there's more. Follow time-tested copy rules. And so if you want a background in this mix of science and copy, I highly suggest Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins at scientificadvertising.com. I'll put a link in the show notes down below. Direct copy doesn't necessarily begin with a clever idea. It begins with you. And so, here's where I edited. Direct mail, a good direct response ad, landing page, video, or direct mail will help you discover what's unique about your product, about my product, and how the prospect will benefit. Okay, excellent. What sets your product apart? I would love if Craig would give an example of this. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he gives a test and shows how direct mail copy works better than regular copy. Your prospects become your client because they see what's in it for them. Okay, and thank you for that. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Bye-bye.